Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Still no working on the knife. We're working on this sand car. Trying to get it ready for, I got 2 weeks till we go to the dunes on Memorial Weekend. So we've been working quite a bit on this. And I'll show you what we've been doing, what we have left to do, and then we'll show you a little bit of our polishing and that. So last week, we got a bunch of this aluminum polish. That was pretty flat looking there. So we got that shined up pretty nice. Cleaned up that little fuse box cover. Everything on this thing is pretty much aluminum if it's not, you know, frame or whatever. Tried to polish this up, but it's some type of aluminum with a matte finish, so it's not really going to polish up. But all these pieces of aluminum like that there, got that shined up. We shined up all these shocks last weekend. Did this last weekend, got it looking pretty good. I mean, that's pretty shiny. For as old as this is probably a, I don't know, 20, 25-year-old sand car. So it's requiring some TLC to get it looking right again. I took some of this stuff, what I've been doing today, I took that off. This little cover here over the steering column and polished it up. It was pretty bad. It looked like this side of this console here. And now it looks like that. So a little bit of elbow grease goes a long way. I've been working on this just now, cleaning up this console. So we got this top pretty much polished up, and then we've got to do these sides. Both sides still need to be done, but you can see quite a contrast. And all we're using is just some good old Mother's Mag and aluminum polish on all this aluminum. Getting the wheels done slowly but surely. I got this one done last weekend. So it looks quite a bit better than the old dull one over here. This one hasn't been done. And this one has been done. So we're getting it cleaned up pretty nice. My brother's working on these paddle wheels here, and they're in pretty bad shape. Trying to cut them with some clay bar and get them cleaned up a little bit so we can get them polished up. It's a lot of work, especially all this hand rubbing in here. I could take some of this stuff off, but there's so much to getting it off. If I was to try to take that console out of there, you've got all these screws that which isn't a problem, that's okay, and you can just unscrew the top of the shift knob. But you got all that wiring to them switches and gauges and everything to try to take apart. And I just figured it was easier just to do it in there. We shine these old spotlights up with some SOS pads. Anything that's chrome, I like to use SOS pads on, like this steering shaft. We did with SOS. We did these with SOS. My buddy Scott did the steering wheel here. It was pretty rusty looking. We cleaned that up pretty good with some SOS pads last weekend. So this weekend, and we got all the shocks done last weekend. So this weekend we're just trying to get these wheels finished up. I've got a Scotch-Brite wheel for my air angle grinder, my pneumatic angle grinder. But it kind of left these rough. They're pretty bad shape. I mean, they're pretty rusted up. So I don't believe we're going to try to polish them up. I mean, they're just so old and they've been on there forever, and they're welded on. Don't know if you can see that or not, but they're welded right onto that. They've got the manifold comes to right here. Then you've got this little short piece of pipe coming off the manifold, and then these are welded right to it. So we're going to paint these flat black. We got some flat black heat paint, high temp paint. We'll paint those with some flat black. And see this here, clean this up with an SOS pad, anything that's chrome, but the mounts are aluminum. So I polished this one up here this morning by hand. This one here hasn't been done yet. You can see what a difference that is. It's a lot of tedious hard work and your fingers hurt like hell. But it's worth it when it comes out looking that shiny and nice. We got to have her looking good when we go out to the dunes. So it's getting there. We put these pads on last week. We still haven't really... My brother had some straps that we put around there, but I didn't like the way they were cutting in here. They're too thin. He only had 4 of them. So we could only put one here and one there. And we really need more than that on here to keep this stable. So I bought some tape. Some duct tape I was going to wrap around them, but problem with that is, I mean, the car is actually fuchsia. This duct tape is hot pink. I don't know how good that would look on there or whatever. So we're kind of on hold on that for now. Green. I might get some green, because what we're going to do is all of this upper part of this cage, all the lower part of the frame of this car is going to stay the color it is, but I'm going to take all this upper part, the roll cage part, all these higher pipes here, these pipes here going down, all of these upper roll cage parts. I'm going to paint them like a bright green, like a Kawasaki green, or a, you know, some kind of a bright green like on the old muscle cars that Dodge built. And believe it or not, green and purple goes together real well. So they ought to look pretty cool. They ought to look pretty good. And then that gives me more options. I can put green parts. You know, I could change the green and white seat covers, or green and black, because black's a neutral color, goes with anything. And so I could change up a lot of stuff if I went with that, painted that top part green. I thought about stripping the whole car down and repainting it, but that's just a butt ton of work, and a lot of these bolts and stuff will break because they've been in there so long. I had to put new seat bolts in this driver's seat yesterday. 2 of them were missing, and the 2 that were in there, I had to cut them off with an angle grinder because they were just so old and rusted that you couldn't get them out. But you can see here, I put 4 brand new bolts in that seat pan to hold it in. I've looked at all the frame under here. Underneath them, we're all pretty good. I can't find any cracks or any bad spots under here on the frame. Those floor pans still look to be in real good shape. So that's where we are. We were going to put different shocks on this thing, but for $700, $750, just for a pair of rear shocks, I think I'll stay with the ones I've got. We'll take it down and we'll take these shocks off. Found a place here in town that'll charge these with nitrogen for us. We'll just have them fill them up good, put them back on the car, and when we get out to the dunes in 2 weeks, we can adjust them. We can let a little bit out, you know, and adjust them to the ride that we want. So there it is. I'm going to record a little bit of this and get back to work. So let's do it. Not done, being done. Big difference. guys, been a long day. Worked my butt off on this thing today, but we got it all shined up pretty good. Got my little antenna on over here. It's running through its phases and doing its thing. It's pretty cool. I'm really happy to have this thing pretty much ready to go. Got these brand new shoulder harnesses, and they're pretty sweet. They're the ones we had in here were little 2-inch straps, and they were just weathered and worn out. And these ones here took a little bit of coin, but they're really nice straps, and they'll hold us in there a lot better into the seat than those old worn out ones will. The worst thing I had with the old ones is on your down here on your lap belt where your quick release is, and you pop it open. Those ones were old and it would stick and you couldn't get it open, and if something happened and this car was to flip upside down, end up on fire, I want out, you know what I mean? So these new ones work really nice. Got a Velcro, you just pop it open and the latch pops open on the belt, and you're out. One buckle for the 4-point harness, which makes it real nice. So yeah, we're just about ready for the dunes. I think I showed you in the videos, but look at my skull I put on there. That dude fits right on here, man. He's right at home there. I think that's a nice little touch to my little insanely fast Sandrail. I can't wait to get this thing out to the dunes. It's going to be a hoot, but I just wanted to throw this up. Like I said earlier, sorry, still no knife making, but we'll get back on that knife. But this all just kind of came out of the blue, and I only have a certain allotted amount of time to get this thing ready to go to the dunes with my son and his family and a bunch of friends and that on Memorial Weekend. That's 2 weeks away, and I've still got more work. I got to do some welding on some cracks. I really hate to do that. I'm going to try to find some paint that'll match so I can grind the welds and clean it up and squirt a little paint over it and stuff. But yeah, this has been the project, and we've really done a lot to this car since bringing it home. I don't want to go into detail of it all right now, but I think if you've been watching the videos, you pretty much know what all we've been doing. So just want to thank you all for being here, and you know, clicking on my videos, watching my stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would really appreciate that, and maybe hit that like button up there. And share these, man. Share some of these videos with your friends. They might be interested in seeing what we got going on here in the shop. We'll probably throw up one more at least next weekend, finishing up the little details on this and stuff. And then the next one after that will be out at sand dunes. My brother's buying a drone, and we're going to take some drone footage and stuff too, along with regular footage. So we're going to try to make a good video about being out at Little Sahara here in Utah at the sand dunes in 2 weeks. So everybody take care of yourselves. Be careful when you're working in your shop. Use your safety gear. And if you go out driving one of these things, don't drive it beyond your means. Yada, yada, yada. You know how it goes. I really appreciate y'all watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you on the next one.